Hey guys, I'm Ahmed.
And I'm Nick.
And this is The Finer Things.
In this episode, we'll be reviewing the Marantz NR1200 AVR.
Audio, video,
receiver.
But before we jump in, if you are pumped about this one, go ahead and give us a like.
Wow. She's pumped.
She's pumped.
She is pumped.
But before we jump in, if you are pumped about this one, go ahead and give us a like.
If you're into more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and tap that bell for future notifications about our upcoming awesome content.
As well, check us out on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, LinkedIn. No. But
we're not on most of those.
We're on some of those. I don't know. The links are in the description.
Yeah. We put the links in the description.
And there's one more.
There is. We actually have a Patreon now.
Patreon.
Yes,
I know. What is Patreon?
Patreon is a platform that gives us the means to be a better channel for you guys with your direct support.
Anyway, to frame out this video, we are going to first be taking a look at Marantz and why they're still in business. Then we're going to explain the feature set and the design of the NR1200, and then we're going to give our subjective evaluations and try to put together some sort of final thoughts, the end result of ideas.
I believe they call that a conclusion.
Conclusion. Inconclusive conclusion.
Yes. Founded in 1953 by Saul Marantz in his New York home, his namesake company began with the premise of building electronics to a higher standard than what was then available in the early 1950s. Saul's company saw great success through the late 1970s until being purchased by Philips in 1980. At which point Marantz saw a sales slump up until being acquired by D&M Holdings in 2002. That's Denon and Marantz Holdings in 2002. And then in 2017, Sound United acquired D&M Holdings. Marantz is quite mainstream at this point.
Marantz,
quite mainstream.
Interesting sentence.
It's a wonderful sentence. I don't know why.
Some funny quotes from the Marantz website about the brand are as follows. The spirit of Marantz has transcended geographies in the decades since he created the company.
Yeah.
It's a great way of saying, hey guys, we outsourced our productions outside of the United States to Vietnam.
That's generally true, yeah. Marantz actually, they have two different factories of production. A majority of their products are made in Vietnam. A lot of the receivers, CD players, integrated amplifiers, things like that. But then they do have Shirakawa Audio Works, which is a shared factory. Denon, Marantz, and Class A Audio manufacture out of that factory. And Marantz makes their highest level integrated amplifiers. Their flagship receiver is made there, and a couple of other select items. But a bulk majority of what you'll see on the shelves or available at your local retail store, those are going to be Vietnam made. As opposed to, in the early 1950s, stuff was made in America.
And another great one from the Marantz website. Today, wherever you are in the world, you can reach out and touch Marantz. Now, that's funny for a couple of reasons. One thing is, this company's named after a guy. Presumably his family still exists, so you can reach out and touch him. No matter where you are in the world. But in addition to that, from a marketing perspective, what they're trying to say is, we're as mainstream as it gets. We sell, you can find our stuff in Walmart, gas stations, whatever. We'll let any goddamn person sell it.
That's mostly true. The fact checkers found that mostly true. They're not available at gas stations, but you walk into
some real nice gas stations out there. I've been to a gas station in Pennsylvania. They have slot machines in the gas station.
Hey, I went to a gas station in Abu Dhabi. They were selling tires. Our bashing of the Marantz brand aside, the NR1200 represents a unique position in today's receiver market. It's a fully featured slim chassis AVR, except it's designed for only 2 channels, and it is marketed at a very reasonable price point of $649.98. You get full HDMI switching as well as built-in streaming capabilities, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 2 zones, and support for various voice assistants and acoustic room correction. That's a lot to pack into such a small and relatively inexpensive package.
The NR1200 is rated for 75 watts per channel into 8 ohms throughout the entire range of human hearing, 20 Hz to up to 20 kHz, at 0.08% THD, total harmonic distortion, which under those conditions is a respectable amount of power despite the lack of a 4 ohm rating. The 4 ohm rating is important because many speakers operate at impedances lower than 8 ohms, so there could be situations where certain speakers will demand just a bit more than the NR1200 can give. So judicious pairing is an essential part of trying to achieve some good performance when working with this piece.
Indubitably. On to our subjective evaluations. Tonally, the NR1200 errs on the warmer side of things, as most Marantz products do. They call this musical, though I wouldn't entirely agree with that statement. This warmth can help certain speakers, such as the Infinity Intermezzo 4.1T speakers that we recently reviewed, and I had previously called ruthlessly neutral to a fault. With the NR1200, the 4.1Ts never sounded harsh, though they were not as dynamic and as full compared to being driven by other high-current amplifiers. In our opinion, the NR1200 would not satisfy the critical music listener, but would be a great option for someone looking for a better solution than a soundbar for their TV-based audio system.
For sure.
The NR1200 could also serve for a background music system as well. For these purposes, the NR1200 is a steal and should be on people's short lists for those purposes.
To conclude, the Marantz NR1200 represents a niche market item not covered by many other companies. It's fully featured and it's good enough to get the job done for non-critical music listeners. But the NR1200 is not an audiophile's piece.
So needless to say, I cannot recommend this amplifier in any circumstance because it does not measure well. There is no test whatsoever.
I had a perfectly good Pink Panther doll and I ripped his head off to represent how I feel about this amp.
Even though all amps sound the same, this one is trash.
And the fucking New Force DAC!
Ah! Distortion upon startup!
New farce!
New
More like
fart.
it. New fart!
Yes, new fart.
But if you have not already, hop over to our Patreon and check it out. We offer nothing there except for a way to support us. We might change that one day if some people actually sort of move on to the finer things Patreon bandwagon, so you be the change that you want to see in the world.
It's pretty impressive.
But I think that about does it for our coverage of the Marantz NR1200.
The 1200 for $650. Yeah, I'd like that 1200 for $650, please. Yeah.
And $20 on pump number 6.
Scratch off lotto tickets and a Marantz NR1200 receiver. Thank you very much.
And a honey bun.
And a honey bun. Give me that crappy coffee over there as well. Yes. Stay tuned.
Stay tipsy.
Stay classy. Problem is we're not staying tipsy right now. We're not staying tipsy right now.